You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Behind the back! Are you serious? No hesitation on the shot. Ms. Rice feeling it. Make it 3 for 3. And Ciolino, see you later. Here's a chance for Sayas, another shot, and a goal!
Will Spare will take it all the way! Touchdown Seahawks!
The extra look, and the goal! A gorgeous goal by
Live from Schuert Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, this is the Nassau County Conference 4 semifinals. First up today, it'll be the North Shore Vikings against the Clarke Rams. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined by Ben Turchin for the start, Ben, of a huge day of high school football here at Hofstra.
Absolutely, Pete. Thank you for joining us and being on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's a pleasure to have you on board. And, of course, Pete, before we get going, I just want to mention none of this would be possible without Orland and Cohen. We really have to thank Orland and Cohen and Ray Nelson. They stepped up to allow these games to be free for the Long Island audience today. So we just want to mention that Orland and Cohen are the best providers of orthopedic care around Long Island. Visit them online for more information at orlandandcohen.com.
These are two teams that come into this game with identical 7-2 records, and they actually met at the very, very beginning of the season with North Shore coming out on top, 28-8. So they get all the way through and in through the playoffs. Clarke beating East Rockaway to get here, and then it was North Shore over Malvern at last week, 47-20. So a lot has happened between these two teams since that first meeting back at the beginning of the regular season.
I totally agree, and it was such a long time ago. I think you almost have to not pay attention to that score, 28-8. Clarke is going to come in here hungry. They've been playing better football since that first week of the season. And what a job Kevin O'Hagan has done, Pete. His first year at the helm, the head coach for the Clarke Rams, and he's got his boys here as the 3 seed coming in. So I expect a closer game today.
You look down on the field now, and North Shore, the top-seeded team, they are in the maroon jerseys with the white pants, and that's Michael Fleming, their junior kicker, set to kick it off. And Clarke in the visiting white uniforms to the left, and we are just seconds away from kickoff here at Hofstra.
Pretty exciting. Everybody, hopefully you're up and awake at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're playing football.
Nothing like little bagels and football on a Saturday morning.
And coffee. Don't forget the coffee, Pete.
Fleming getting ready to approach the ball. And we are underway with the Conference 4 semifinals. Out of the end zone, straight up the middle, and across the 10-yard line. That was Jack Forte on the return. And that's where Clarke will put it into play. 1st and 10 from just across the 15-yard line.
Nice job by the North Shore special teams unit there, ganging up right in the middle. And the returner, Pete, didn't really have a seam. Couldn't go left. He could not go right. Only can go up the middle, but about 5 North Shore defenders waiting for him to make the tackle.
They will spot it down at the 15-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Clarke on the opening drive of the game. You brought up their head coach, Kevin O'Hagan, his first season. A chance to chat with him before the game. Very happy with the way his team has progressed over the course of the season. Nick Giardino under center, out of the shotgun for Clarke, with a man in motion coming forward. And they start out with a pass, and it's complete. And that's Justin Rinder, and he gets tackled just shy of the 20-yard line, and a gain of just a couple. Take a look at the offensive starting lineup for Clarke. We talked about their quarterback, Nick Giardino. In the backfield is Jack Forte, also their return man, and a really good offensive line anchored by that center, Michael Delaney. So a pickup of 9 on that last play. 2nd down and 1 for Clarke from their own 24. It's Giardino on the keeper, and he's got the first down, not by much, before he is gang tackled by that North Shore defensive line.
Pete, any offensive team would love to have a second and short situation like that. Giardino is such a good runner with the football. That's an easy call for Coach O'Hagan. Put the ball in your best player's hands, get the first down.
We'll look at that North Shore defense, and they've got a really good front four. On that defensive line, Leo Ponce, Reese Ramos also on that front line, and at secondary anchored by Richard Cook in the middle. 1st and 10 now for Clarke from their own 26-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Giardino, and the give is up the middle for a few yards. Jack Forte on the carry.
Number 76, Reese Ramos making the tackle for North Shore, one of the captains for this team, only a junior.
5'11", 260 pounds, a lot of muscle on that front line for North Shore. As Clarke comes up to the line now with a 2nd down and 7 from their own 29. This time Giardino back to pass. He's got to escape some pressure. He's just going to keep it, and he's got the first down and runs out of bounds across the 40-yard line. So good vision downfield by Giardino, felt the pressure, and he got off on a nice run there for a first down.
Absolutely, and let's give some credit to number 28 for Clarke, Justin Somyak. He had a nice block that freed up Giardino for that run for the first down, kind of on the edge, setting the edge for the quarterback to run past him.
And first down yardage for Clarke at the 40-yard line. They really lucked out with the weather so far here today. A beautiful, sunshiny day. There have been many a times calling games here in the playoffs where you've had to worry about bad weather and wind and all that kind of stuff. What a picture-perfect day here on Long Island for high school football.
Are we in November or October?
And there's the give up across the 40-yard line. Forte. And he is brought down by a host of maroon jerseys. Check that. That was Justin Somyak on the carry, the junior.
How about Liam Farrell, number 58, the senior offensive lineman, driving that offensive line for the extra yards. Great job from Liam.
So a 5-yard pickup when it looked like there was not going to be much there, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Justin Somyak, a junior, 5'10", 160, will rotate in with Jack Forte, who is the starter.
Clarke's got to be happy, Pete, with the way they've been able to run the football here on this first drive of the day.
Clarke has made a change on their offensive line. Get to it right after this play as Giardino goes back to pass, and the pass is complete near midfield, and the pass was complete to Sean Welsh, the senior wide receiver, and he was knocked out of bounds about a yard shy of the first down. Joe Buffalino is in at center for Clarke. There was an injury during the week. Will Fulle, who normally is a starter on the offensive line, is out. So Joe Buffalino is in at center, and Michael Delaney moves over to play guard. So they're going to shuffle that in back and forth. You're going to see David Barco. You might see Michael Delaney go back in at center as per Kevin O'Hagan before the game. So a 3rd down and 1 for Clarke. And Giardino keeps it himself on the fake, and he's got first down yardage. He is into North Shore territory, down to about the 45-yard line.
Just a run-pass option play there by Clarke. Drew the defense, faked him out, and had enough yards for the first down there. That was a great play call by the Clarke Rams.
I like how Clarke's mixing it up a little bit here in the first quarter. Giardino doing a really good with that play fake out of the shotgun. I think they're confusing North Shore a little bit.
100%. I totally agree. And we said this at the Open that we thought this would be a much closer game today than in Week 1. You kind of have to throw that game out of the records, kind of, Pete, because it's such a long time ago, and teams improve as the year goes on. And this is a much different Clarke team than it was back in September.
Clarke with 3 wide receivers to the right. And Giardino is going to throw the ball, and he's got Rindner inside the 45-yard line. Not much of a pickup there, maybe a yard and a half.
That's all Daniel Quigley, number 7 for North Shore. That's what you call a textbook open field tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, the runner could be gone for a touchdown. So give North Shore credit defensively, Pete, there. That's maybe the first time today that we've seen them make a big stop on a first down here.
Yeah, Clarke's got to be averaging over 5 yards on first down so far here in the first quarter, so they were able to bottle that up very nicely. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 9 from the 43. Somyak is the running back to the right of Giardino out of the shotgun. North Shore almost jumped there. Now they did. Now they got him. Didn't get back across the line of scrimmage on their side in time, and they're going to flag North Shore for offsides here.
Well, we just talked about how good of a job North Shore did there on the first down, limiting them. You said they were averaging 5 yards, Pete. Now they just give that right back on the penalty.
And that will advance the ball down to the 38-yard line. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Now Clarke out of the huddle, and they'll line up Welsh to the far side, and Justin Ridner is at the bottom of your screen on the right side of the line. Giardino rolling to his left, looking downfield. He's got a man wide open in the end zone, and that is a touchdown for Sean Walsh. He got a step on the defensive back and was wide open, and Giardino waited and waited and waited and then fired off the ball and found the wide open Welsh in the end zone.
I don't know if we have accolades yet for the end of the year, but if Giardino is not a Long Island all-time football player this season, then somebody has to answer. Running the football, off balance, throwing in the opposite way of his body, and he puts a laser beam in the end zone. What a catch.
And Welsh beats David Berlin on a nice move. And now it's 6-0 Clarke, and they will come out and attempt the extra point.
About a 40-yard throw in the air, Pete, for Giordano right there. And this entire drive, they've been running the football, but it opened up an opportunity there to get the defense sleeping a little bit in the air, and that's exactly what happened. So, again, give the Rams coaches some credit here. They came out, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do on offense.
Well, they're actually going for 2 here. Giardino out of the shotgun cuts around the right side and throws into the end zone, and it is caught again by Welsh for the 2-point conversion, and Clarke jumps out to an 8-0 lead. 6:31 to go in the first quarter of this first Conference 4 semifinal here at Hofstra. It's Clarke 8 and North Shore nothing on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Peter Schwartz, Ben Turchin back at Hofstra University. And surprise, surprise, Clarke jumps out to an 8-0 lead over North Shore. Nick Giardino with the long touchdown pass to Sean Welsh. And then, Ben, they hook up again on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and Welsh high-pointed that football. He has such strong hands. He skied for that ball. The defender really didn't have a chance. But I want to just go back to the play of Nick Giardino, and that pass was right on target. You can't say enough good things about him. And like I was saying before, we don't know if the awards have been publicized yet. But Newsday, whoever comes up with it, how can he not be all-county and maybe all Long Island? Nick Giardino. He's been excellent all year long.
And he has been super so far today. The kicker for Clarke is Justin Ridner. He approaches the ball. It's a line drive kick to the far side of the field. It bounces. And up the middle of the field, and not much of a turn there for North Shore.
Yeah, that was Peter Liotta, number 3 there for North Shore. We're going to see him at quarterback here in a second. And this is a great story. This junior who Pete didn't even start a quarterback in the beginning of the season, but now he's at the helm here for Coach Agavino.
a 5'9", 145-pound junior quarterback. He had 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run in the quarterfinal win over Malvern a week ago. And now North Shore breaks the huddle for the first time, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, and they are trailing 8-0 in this contest. Daniel Quigley and Nicholas LaRosa in the backfield. And the give is to LaRosa, and he tries the left side of the line and gets 3 yards, maybe 3.5 on first down. And we'll take a look at that North Shore Vikings offense, and you look at that really nice big offensive line led by Nicholas Caprarella, and of course the quarterback Peter Liotta, and that good combination in the backfield. Nicholas LaRosa and Daniel Quigley will see plenty of action as well. This is Quigley. He has the ball across the 25-yard line, not much more than that at the 26. Brought down on the play, looked like it was in on the play. Jack Forte, number 33 for Clarke, helped out on that tackle.
And right off the bat, you have North Shore in a 3rd and somewhat, not too long, but 3rd and 5 here. Clarke didn't really find themselves at all in that position on their first drive, Pete, right off the bat. And you know North Shore's a running team. They're going to want to move the ball on the ground. A little bit of an early test here for the Vikings.
Nicholas Lavoti, a junior, is coming in, and now we've got a timeout on the field. It was an injury for Clarke, and that looks like that is Nick Giardino, the starting quarterback, who's also a safety, and he's being helped back to the sideline.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be okay, but obviously every Clarke fan right now watching this is holding their collective breaths. The last thing you want to see is number 10 on the sideline with an injury. As you can see him there right at about the 40-yard line at the top of your screen, kind of bent over a little bit.
He may have had the wind knocked out of him. We'll have to take a look. In any event, it's a 3rd and 4 now for North Shore at their own 26-yard line. Liotta out of the shotgun, and he is back to pass. He's under a rush, and he is brought down in the backfield, and he was taken down by Daniel McGrady. Gets the sack. And it's going to bring up 4th down for North Shore.
Can't say enough good things about the Clarke Rams here. They got off the bus ready to go. You're going to see the penetration here. Liotta tries to step up in the pocket, but wasn't meant to be. Daniel McGrady able to shed off a blocker and make that tackle for a loss. And now it's 4th and 9.
Jack Forte was the first one in there. He did not make the tackle, but I think he slowed things down enough for McGrady to get in there and make the sack. Now for North Shore, the punter is out. David Berlin, a captain. He is going to launch this football. And a kick towards the near side of the field. And that is Sean Welsh on the return. Gets away from a tackle. Now a flag is down. This may come back. Welsh into North Shore territory, down inside the 40-yard line. But there is a penalty marker down at the Clarke 41-yard line. So let's hold the phone and see what the call is here. That would look to be that's coming back.
It was a block in the back, and it was on Richard Cook, number 15 for North Shore, who had good coverage down the field, but one of the Clarke special teamsmen blocked him in the back. So this is going to come back for Clarke, no doubt about it here, and that's a break for North Shore.
A big break because nothing has been going right for them so far here in this first quarter. Clarke goes right down the field, touchdown, 2-point conversion, and they get a big sack on 3rd down. And finally a break for North Shore in some way, shape, or form here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. But it was right in front of the official. I mean, we could see it clear as day up here in the press box and right in front of one of the side judges, and he was quick with the flag. So I don't really know why there's a huddle here. There's no way you could pick this flag up. It was blatant. It was a clear block in the back. And you can see, I don't know if we can show it, but Coach Agavino is standing on the field right now, and he's awaiting what the officials are going to have to say because he knows as well as his staff was right in front of the official. He knows as well that was clearly a penalty.
Yeah, I can't imagine how they could pick this up. It was a clear block in the back, and I mean, are they talking about picking up the flag, or are they making dinner reservations?
I don't know. There may have been a second flag that we didn't catch here on the field. So we got to see what all this is about. So there might be some work to do here by the officials. Okay. I don't know if one of the penalties is going to be on North Shore, then we'll probably get a re-kick.
Kevin O'Hagan is out on the field, the head coach for Clarke, and he's at the 41 on the far side of the field, and you got Dan Agavino at midfield, and they're both anxiously awaiting the decision here by the officials. One is going over to talk to Dan Agavino. One is going over to talk to Kevin O'Hagan, and we'll see if either of the coaches are happy with the result of this.
Well, usually when the head referee goes to the other coach, that's not a good sign. I mean, I think he's giving him the bad news because they didn't actually talk to Coach Agavino. So I think you give the bad news to the first coach, and then you give the good news to the second coach. But, Pete, I've never seen two coaches this far onto the field awaiting a call ever, I don't think.
Very, very strange. And now that official is coming over to talk to Dan Agavino. So we should have this sorted out here in a short amount of time. Now the entire Clarke team is all huddled together on the far side of the field. So there's still some discussion going on here.
Sometimes you want to find the official with the football in his hand because maybe that's an indicator of where the ball might be. And if you look to the left of your screen, the guy with the football is standing at the 35-yard line, which was right about where the penalty was for the block in the back. So let's see if that's an indicator at all.
Dan Agavino, but judging by his body language there and the way he's talking, he's not happy about this. Whatever decision this is going to be, he does not look like he's happy about it.
Yeah, you have to wonder, I mean, what could all of this be about?
He's
a personal foul on North Shore. And we didn't even see that happen. And you don't even get the call on the block in the back. So this is a huge break for Clarke.
Dan Agavino is just throwing his hands down in disgust. So at the end of all that mishigas, let's see where they...
The ball's at the 49-yard line of North Shore right now. And one of the things you don't want to see, Pete, here, especially early in the first quarter, you don't want the officials to let this game get away from them.
No.
And obviously, if both coaches aren't too happy with that, that's an indicator that we're going to have to keep an eye on for the rest of the game.
Joe Buffalino is still in there at center for Clarke on 1st and 10 for the Rams from the 49 of North Shore. And here's a carry up the middle down to the 45-yard line. And that was Jack Forte on the carry, and he gets about 3 yards, just shy of the 45.
Those are some 3 hard yards to run for by Jack Forte. I mean, that is a tough defensive line that North Shore is putting up there, led by the big boy, number 76, Reese Ramos. So he fought for every one of those yards.
And they do give him 3 yards down to the 46. It'll bring up 2nd down. And so far now, 2 drives in for Clarke. Their offensive line, for the most part, dominating this game right now because the running game for Clarke is doing fantastic, and they've mixed in some passes, including the long touchdown pass on the first drive. Now Giardino out of the shotgun. Straight back to pass, looking down the near side of the field, and just incomplete off the hand of Nick Iannucci, the junior wide receiver, who went downfield just off his hand, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Take another look at this. The blocking for Clarke has been so good, giving Giordano time to throw, and that was just a little bit long.
He got his right hand on the ball, but just couldn't bring it in.
He would have needed one of those Odell Beckham catches to haul that one in.
How about that Dolphins lineman the other night with that almost touchdown? You saw that, right?
I did, yes.
I think all of the United States and North America was hoping that they would count that touchdown some way because you always like to see the big guys get a touchdown. So it's 3rd down and 7 from the 46. Giardino throws to the far side, complete to Welsh, and Welsh is down inside the 40, and he's still going, still plugging away. He's got the 1st down and more, down to about the 35, and finally the North Shore defense is able to finally bring him down inside the 35-yard line. The strength by Welsh there to get some extra yards.
That's a big conversion for the Rams. It's 3rd and 7 as we're going to see some extracurriculars or some extra blocking there on the replay. But right before that, Pete, the offensive line for Clarke has been doing such an outstanding job. Have to give these guys credit. Liam Farrell, we've mentioned him before, number 58, the senior, a captain on this team. There was an opportunity there for the Vikings to stop Clarke, but another first down. They keep moving the chains.
So now it'll be a 1st and 10 for Clarke from the North Shore 34. Clock is running. 2.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. And as you can see with the score on the screen, 8-0 Clarke. They scored on their opening drive and now looking to add some more. Welsh lined up top of the screen to the left side. And that's Sforza, bottom of your screen on the right side. And the give is to Somyak. And Somyak has a couple of yards down to about the 32 or the 31.
Somyak was free because number 65, Tyler Benowitz, another senior for Clarke, did his job on the block there and freed up the running back. Pete, we've talked about it here. Right now, Clarke is winning the battle up front. There's no two ways around it. They have been more dominant than North Shore here in the first quarter. They have gained more yards on first and second down. They've converted on third down, and a lot of the credit for their success is with that offensive line right now.
No question about it. They are dominating here in the first quarter. Now with a minute and a half to go, and Clarke looking for some more. They've already got the 8-0 lead. Now Giardino out of the shotgun again. And it's a pass intended for Sforza on the right side. Incomplete, and it'll bring up third down. And another third down here for Clarke. You just mentioned before how successful they've been on third down so far in the game.
Well, one thing I noticed there by North Shore that they have to continue to do is get some pressure up the middle, and that might force Giordano to throw an erratic pass. That time, Daniel Quigley, number 7, as well as number 62, Pat Godfrey, got loose, and that caused the pass. And we do have some breaking news here from that penalty, Pete. It looks like Dylan Kunkel, number 5, was ejected off that penalty for targeting.
Wow. Well, that is not something that we picked up on the live play. We'll have to go back and take a look, but that is a huge loss for North Shore as Giardino goes back to pass, and it's almost intercepted on the far side of the field. And breaking that up on the far side for North Shore was David Berlin. Almost came up with the interception, and now it's going to bring up fourth down.
David Berlin catches that 99 out of 100 times. He's been on our top 10 through the season. He makes big plays, and if you asked him right now, he is frustrated that he didn't convert on that, Pete. That's an opportunity that you have to convert on in his hands. He would love to have that one back.
No question about it. Remember Herm Edwards, when he was the coach of the Jets, would always say when a defensive back would drop an easy interception, he would say that's why they're playing defensive back. They couldn't be a wide receiver.
Typically you're right, but David plays wide receiver too, and he's made some great grabs through the year. 4th
down and 8 at the 32. Clarke is going to go for it, but now they're going to call a timeout to talk about it with 1:19 to go in this first quarter, and Clarke is up by a score of 8-0.
It'll give us an opportunity here during the timeout to thank one of our sponsors for today, and we thank all of them for allowing the broadcast to be free for all of our viewers throughout the course of the day today. Thank you to Lindbrook Swag for sponsoring today's games. For the best embroidery and custom apparel, call them at 516-705-5888. Lindbrook Swag works with many sports teams around Long Island. As a matter of fact, they do our embroidery at Varsity Media, our hats, our shirts. They do a fantastic job. If you mention hashtag Buckeyes, you save 10%. Hashtag Buckeyes when you call them at 516-705-5888. Save 10%. Any sports team watching right now, any coach, any youth program, give them a call. They do a great job.
Think they can make one of those Varsity Media shirts in a 4XLT?
Yeah, we'll get one for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Call my buddy Adam.
That's always been the bugaboo. Any job I've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rip apart a tent and make you a shirt.
There's a big play coming up here for North Shore, though. Momentum could swing if North Shore gets a stop.
4th and 8 for Clarke. Let's see if they can converge. Giardino rolling to his left. He's going to take it himself down inside the 30, and he's going to come up a few yards shy. Not much there for Giardino, and the ball is going to be a turnover on downs, and North Shore will get the ball back for the second time.
Boy, the Vikings ever need that stop right there. Andrew Nowak, take another look at the replay, number 58. He gets the pursuit, sheds a block, and stays with it, making the tackle there out of bounds. Great job by Nowak, number 58, the senior, and that gives North Shore the ball back offensively.
And he had some help from Richard Cook to bring Giardino down, and that will bring us to within 1:13 to go here in the first quarter. And we'll see if North Shore can put something together offensively here on their second drive.
And they're going to be without Dylan Kunkel, number 5, who we just found out again. It was unsportsmanlike, not targeting, but either way, he's out of the game.
And now here's a run around the left side of the line. It's Nicholas Livoti, the junior, and he's got a few yards. Let's see where they mark it down. They're going to mark the ball down at around the 35.
Take a look at this, because at the end of the play, the ball is going to come loose. But let's see if it was a correct call. Was the runner down? I don't know, Pete.
That's a fumble. That, to me, is a fumble. North Shore gets a big, big break. And here's another run for LaRosa. LaRosa's got a first down up near midfield before he is finally brought down on the far side of the field. Looked like Sean Welsh was in on that tackle as well. And it's going to be a first down for North Shore.
Take another look right there. Great blocking by North Shore. And then LaRosa, he's just a bull. You're not going to get him down on the first try. And how many Rams does it take to get him down, Pete? At least 2.
And it's going to be a first down for the Vikings at the 47. Liotta takes it himself. A little bit of room, closed up very quickly as he's able to get about 3 yards up to midfield.
Anthony Santoro, number 50, with a little bit of a hole there for Liotta, and he did the rest.
They mark it across the 50. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and a big first quarter for Clarke as they lead North Shore 8-0 here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
As we start the second quarter here at Hofstra, it's a 1st and 10 for North Shore from the Clarke 49. And now it's North Shore going left to right here in the second quarter. And it's Liotta on the keeper, gets down to about the 48-yard line. And a very mild gain of about a yard. It'll bring up third down.
Justin Ridner, number 18 for Clarke, the senior linebacker, making the tackle. And this is a third down, Pete, that I think North Shore really has to convert here just to keep the momentum alive here offensively for them.
It'll be third down, and scoreboard says 5. Looks a little bit more like 6 where the ball is placed down. We'll call it 3rd and 5 from the 48. Liotta looking. He's going to throw downfield. He's got a man open, and let's see. It is caught downfield for the first down. A big catch there downfield by Nicholas Livoti. Take a look at it again. Great pass downfield by Liotta.
Yeah, look at that throw. I mean, enough arc there to let his receiver get under the ball, and what a catch by Livoti. You know, being on the field and talking to the coaches, one of the things that they really like that Liotta gives them is the vision down the field, Pete, and you saw it on display right there.
Now Livoti lines up to the far side along with Berlin. with Feldman on the near side. Liotta around the left side, brought down. Not much of a gain there, but maybe a yard, and it'll bring up second down.
That's Ridner again, number 18, the linebacker, with his second tackle on this drive. And if he doesn't come up and make that play, I think it's a big gain for Liotta. So give Clarke credit there, making a stop when they really needed it to kill that momentum.
So it's down to the 12-yard line, second down and 9. And around the right side, falling down, is Lavoti on the handoff, and he had plenty of room, just fell down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Bill Madigan, the offensive coordinator for North Shore, calling a fantastic jet sweep there to Lavoti, taking advantage of his speed, but just unfortunate, Pete, as he tripped up on the turf. I know you were talking about this turf before we came on the air, and what do they call that, the turf monster? He got him.
No question about it. In hockey, they would say, well, he tripped over the blue line.
Yeah, there's a turf monster here lurking at Hofstra.
And he had
he had a touchdown. He had a touchdown.
No question about it, just tripped up. But it brings up a third down and 9 at the 12 with no gain on that play. Liotta off to his left, throws the ball towards the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown.
They don't give it to him.
No, down at the 1. I thought Nicholas LaRosa broke the plane to the goal line.
Let's look again.
Where he caught it.
This is going to be
We're going to see. Either way, it's a first down and goal at the 1. But let's just see where he winds up.
Yeah, he wasn't in.
Wrong. He was not in.
Nope.
My mistake. He was down at the 1-yard line. So it's going to be a first and goal at the 1 for North Shore and a chance to get on the board.
How about the throw, by the way? That's 2 big throws by Pete Liotta.
Now on first and goal at the 1. And the give is to LaRosa around the left side. No indication yet. I think he's short. And they're going to mark him just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, the Clarke defensive front doing a nice job there with some penetration. So LaRosa not able to get in on the first down attempt.
And as they snap the ball, whistles. And a timeout called by Clarke. So a development here with that first down pass. Now first and goal at the 1, and now no gain, so second and goal at the 1.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here as we have the timeout. Just want to thank another sponsor of ours for this game today and for the entire day, and that would be Fat Boys Burrito. I'm already hungry just looking at that, Pete. Oh. we want to thank Tony and the crew at Fat Boy Burrito out in Belmore for sponsoring today's games. They're located in Belmore. They make unbelievable burritos. As a matter of fact, later tonight we're going to have a review here for some burritos and bowls. They're also opening up locations soon in Levittown and East Northport. Make sure you check them out. Tell them we said hello. Look for Tony. FatBoysBurritoCo.com.
That's later tonight?
That'll be later tonight.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
We have our own review in the second game that we'll talk about. But, yeah, Dylan Butler, who will be here on that call, he'll get to sample some of Fat Boy Burrito's quality food, and he's looking forward to that. And, of course, we're looking forward to what's going to happen here on at the 1-yard line.
Second down and goal at the 1 for North Shore. 8:39 to go in the first half. And the give is to LaRosa, and this time he is in for the touchdown.
Well, it wasn't working on the left side for North Shore, so this time they go around to the right. And there was a wide open hole there. Only needed a yard, and he took advantage, and now it's 8-6.
And we'll see if North Shore decides to go for the 2-point conversion. Let's look at this on the replay again. Plenty of room, gets around the right side, and falls in for the touchdown.
Ryan Frun setting the edge, number 10 for North Shore, the junior. He set that edge there and allowed LaRosa to sneak by for the touchdown. So some good blocking on this entire drive by the Vikings. And, again, let's go back to Peter Liotta here for a second. 2 big throws, Pete, to get North Shore on the board.
No question about it. An excellent drive here by North Shore. Now, let's see. It looks like they are going to go for 2. Liotta out of the shotgun. in towards the end zone, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion on the right side, and it was hauled in by David Berlin.
Well, you see, he does play offense, Pete, so he does catch it when he's on the offensive side.
Just an unfortunate thing when he was playing defense, but we'll look at it again here on the replay, and another good throw by Liotta.
Yeah, Liotta has been very accurate here. He hasn't had a ton of passes so far, maybe 3 or 4.
It was a great move there by Berlin. Great move to shake away from Sean Welsh and make that catch. So 8:35 to go in this second quarter. We're tied at 8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Peter Schwartz, Ben Turchin back at Hofstra University. First semifinal for Conference 4, and we're tied at 8 as Clarke is set to get the ball for the third time in the contest. And North Shore, after getting on the board here, will kick off. Michael Fleming will do the honors. And on the return, which is booted and picked up again, and across the 20-yard line up to about the 22. And that is where Clarke will put the ball into play.
Nick Iannucci with the return there. A lot of things happened. He fumbled the ball, picked it back up, broke a couple of tackles. A lot for a little there. Clarke still has the ball in their own territory. And, hey, we thought North Shore would get on the board eventually in this game, and they did. Give them credit. But, Pete, you and I talked about this at the beginning. We knew that coming into this game, it would not be a 28-8 final like we saw in week 1. Clarke has been playing some great football of late, and we're in for a ball game here.
No question about it. 8:26 now to go in the second quarter. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Clarke at their own 24.
Ooh, we've
got some movement along the line.
I think Daniel McGrady was so excited for that block that he was going to put on that he just got a little jump there.
False start on Clarke, and they'll march it back 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 15 from the 19. Things went so well for Clarke on that first drive, and they had a chance to add to that momentum on the second drive, and since that time, you've started to see it, and North Shore loses a player to ejection, and they've somehow been able to find their way back into this game, and now Clarke looks a little discombobulated here as they start this drive.
One of the things Clarke wants to do is run the football. That's when they're at their best. North Shore loves this. 1st and 15, passing situations. Let's see if they get pressure on Giordano.
Giordino rolling to his left, and he is brought down after a short gain. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage before the penalty, and that's where they'll put it into play 2nd down. Looks like 2nd down and 9.
Well, you have to give credit to the secondary of North Shore there. That's one of those coverage plays, and David Berlin, we talked about him. He converted on the 2-point try, and right there, just great coverage downfield. Remember, Pete, early in the first drive for Clarke, they were beaten. North Shore was beaten on some of those plays, and here in this situation, Berlin doing a nice job defensively. There you see some stats here for Giordino, having a nice game.
Giordino gets it up to the 25-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 9. Out of the shotgun again. He keeps it himself. The ball comes loose, and it looks like North Shore's got it. On the turnover, North Shore is going to take over deep in Clarke territory.
Let's take a look again here.
William Feldman, I think, comes up with the
He
football.
does. Somebody makes a great play here. 36 comes underneath and just forces that ball out for North Shore. Nicholas LaRosa, what a play.
Bounces that ball out of there, and it'll be 1st and 10 for North Shore now at the Clarke 24.
Feldman was able to recover the fumble, But, Pete, what you saw there is LaRosa got underneath, and I think the crown of his helmet forced the football loose, and Feldman right place at the right time to scoop it up.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 24, Leota out of the shotgun, gives to LaRosa, who made that great play on defense, and gets a yard or so down to about the 23-yard line.
Momentum has totally changed now. It's in the hands of North Shore. And now I think Coach Bill Madigan, the offensive coordinator for North Shore, he really has his whole arsenal of weapons right now. He could do a lot of different things. May we see the jet sweep come into play again. That worked well before Turf Monster got Lavoti. Mm-hmm. But when you're deep in the own territory of the opponent, Pete, I think a lot of things come to play here offensively.
Now here is the give on the right side. This is Quigley this time, down to about the 22.
Yeah, North Shore running a little bit of an RPO. They keep it in the hands of the running back there, and now it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So you give credit to Clarke. They've come up with a couple of stops here, but last time we had a 3rd and long, you had Leota with a nice completion downfield to Lavoti. So I would expect North Shore to look to pass here on this 3rd and long.
It's a 3rd and 7 from the 21. As North Shore here breaks the huddle. Feldman is flanked out to the right side. 3 wideouts to the far side. And it's Leota on the keeper. Down inside the 20, inside the 15. And he's got a 1st down just down to the 11-yard line. A nice run there by Peter Leota.
Got to love what Coach Madigan is doing here for North Shore offensively. They ran the RPO on second down. They do it again, and this time Leota keeps it himself. So they got Clarke committing to the run, and he goes around the outside. We thought pass. They kept it on the ground, but a nice creative play call right there by North Shore.
Forced out by Sean Welsh. It brings up a 1st down and 10 from the 11, so North Shore can pick up the 1st down without scoring a touchdown here. Now Leota on the keeper again, around the left side. Down inside the 5, towards the goal line, still on his feet. Touchdown! He is able to get the ball across the goal line on the far side, and Ray Leota with the touchdown run, 11 yards, and North Shore has their first lead of the game.
You know, he's 5'7", or however, a smaller-looking quarterback, but he has speed, Pete. Take a look at this. You're going to see the blocking. Number 50 for North Shore holds up there, and the edge is wide open. You have downfield blocking as well by David Berlin. Let's give credit there to Anthony Santoro, the left tackle. All the blocking was there, and it made it easy for Leota to just scamper in.
Nick Giardino had him by the jersey, couldn't bring him down shy of the goal line, and now for the extra point, Michael Fleming. And the kick is good. And with 5:53 to go in the second quarter, the score, North Shore 15 and Clarke 8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
We are back at Hofstra University with North Shore on top of Clarke by a score of 15-8. Here's a look at the Nassau County Conference 4 playoff picture. You see the quarterfinal scores a week ago and how things shape up this weekend and next weekend.
Absolutely. The winner of this game is in the Nassau County Championships. That'll be a week from today at 12:30 right back here at Hofstra.
And the Long Island Championship for Conference 4 will be at Stony Brook. And here is the kickoff. And on the return across the 30-yard line and still loose. And another fumble and recovered by North Shore.
Wow. What a break again by the Vikings. That ball just popped right up in the air as we take another look at it. Coming up to right in the middle of your screen, we're going to see a pop of the football, and there it is, jarred free and then flipped up in the air by a North Shore special teams player, and then falling to the ground at the 40. Was that Lavoti, number 2?
I think it was. It was Nicky Iannucci on the return. Had the ball jarred loose, and now North Shore right back on the field offensively.
Any coach will tell you, you cannot lose the turnover battle in a football game and expect to win. And right now, it's -2 for the Clarke Rams. 2 very unfortunate turnovers that occurred in their own territory, giving short fields here for the Vikings.
How about that nice kickoff by Matthew Laudicio, number 70, the big guy on the kickoff. And here's Leota up the middle. There is a penalty marker down.
That's coming back. They're going to get holding on North Shore. Yeah, that was like an old-school 1960s style boot there that we saw. He didn't need a lot of backwards steps, you know?
No, he didn't. And they are going to bring this back on North Shore. And it'll come back outside the 40. Let's see where they spot this down.
And nobody's happier about this penalty than Nick Iannucci, who fumbled the ball on the return. You know, you give a high school team first and long, it's a little tricky to convert that first down. And right now, Clarke let's see if they can recover from their second turnover here in the first half.
So it'll be first down and 19, according to the scoreboard. First and 19 from the 48. And here's a handoff to Lavoti, and he gets down towards the goal line.
Touchdown.
And they're going to call it a touchdown right at the goal line. Lavoti all the way down the right sideline, and he is in for the score.
Well, listen to me carrying on about how it's hard to convert a first and 20. North Shore says, yeah, take this, Ben. 48 yards the other way for a touchdown. Lavoti, who, by the way, recovered that fumble. Lavoti's doing it all today.
He is doing it all. Oh, look at that. He almost lost the ball there. The ball popped loose. He was able to get it back, and he is brought down finally downfield, but Joe Rodriguez, but not before the ball crossed the plane of the goal line, and now Michael Fleming on for the extra point.
Think about this, folks. If you watched the beginning of this game and then stepped away for a beverage or to go get a bagel and a coffee and came back, you would say, what happened here? It was 8-0 Clarke. Now it's 21-8, 22-8. 22 unanswered points in this game for North Shore.
And if you watch that first drive of the game, Clarke had all the momentum, and just like that, it is gone. 5:11 to go in the second quarter. North Shore ahead 22-8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Peter Schwartz, Ben Turchin back at Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. And boy, things have changed for North Shore as they have exploded for 22 straight points and a 22-8 lead over Clarke here in the first Conference 4 semifinal game. Here are the numbers on Lavoti. 53 yards rushing, 35 receiving yards, and that rushing touchdown that we just saw moments ago.
He's on his way to becoming the most valuable player of this game, close to 100 yards total in this game, and we've got a whole half to go.
And off the kickoff, it is short, picked up at the 30-yard line, and up across the 30. Jack Forte was the up man, and he was able to bring it up across the 40-yard line. And let's see where they spot it down. They will spot it down at the 43.
Clarke now finds themselves with good field position. If I'm Coach O'Hagan, obviously ball possession is the most important thing right now that I'm hammering home to my team. But, Pete, maybe more than anything, you've got to hold this ball for 5 minutes. You need to put a touchdown on the board and go into the locker room down by 1. Most important thing is you don't want to give North Shore the ball back here, and you need a touchdown.
They have to feel a little shell-shocked over there on the Clarke sideline because everything was going their way on the first couple of possessions, and then all of a sudden Now it's all North Shore.
Well, you have to get back to what worked well in that first drive. We talked about it. It was Nick Giardino, and they're going to have to run him. I mean, RPOs, whatever you have to do, get the ball in his hands. He's the playmaker for this team, and let's see if Clarke can move the chains, get some momentum, and like we said, get this to be a closer game than it is right now.
Empty backfield, Giardino out of the shotgun with a man in motion, and Giardino is going to keep it himself up the middle and brought down across the 45-yard line. Reese Ramos was the first man to hit him, and he is able to get up to about the 48.
Yeah, the junior defensive lineman. We've called his name a couple of times today, making a nice tackle. But again, it just seems like every time Nick holds the ball, he's gaining positive yards. And that's important for Clarke right now. You have a second and manageable, 2nd and 5. It's going to be 4th down territory right now. You're at midfield. They're not going to punt this away as long as it's short yardage situation. Continue to do that. 3 yards, 4 yards. That's going to get you some confidence.
5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5 at the 48. Giardino back to pass this time. Under a rush, escapes it. Flushed out to his right. He's still on his feet. He's got the first down into North Shore territory, down inside the 45-yard line, and a nice run there by Nick Giardino to escape the pressure.
He's a playmaker. If you're watching this game, you know that. If you are a Clarke fan, you know that from the entire season. Playmakers make plays. Quigley doing a nice job with some pressure. He got behind the line of scrimmage, but you got to give credit to the quarterback, and that's exactly what Clarke needs. Pete, we talked about it before they started this drive. Put the ball in the hands of your playmaker. So far, they're moving the chains.
And it's a first down at the 44 for Clarke with 4:10 to go here in the first half as they try to get back into this game. 2 wideouts to the near side is Welsh in the slot and also Iannucci. And the run up the middle.
They snapped that ball.
Couple yards.
Sorry, they snapped that ball pretty quickly, and I almost thought there might have been another fumble on the exchange. And luckily for Clarke, that wasn't the case there.
That's Forte, I believe, on that carry, and he only gets a couple of yards down to the 42, so it'll bring up 2nd and 8. Back to pass, Giardino throws down the middle of the field, looking for Iannucci, and the ball is overthrown.
Yeah, there was pressure by North Shore, but Anthony Velez, number 67, he's only a sophomore on the offensive line for Clarke, 5'10", 215. Give him some credit. He was able to hold on to that pressure, ward off the defender, and at least it gave Giardino some time to throw downfield. Now, Pete, it stops the clock there at 3:28. You've got a 3rd and long.
And a big play here in this game, 3rd and 8 for Clarke as they try to move the chains here and keep moving the ball down the field to get back in this game. They don't get the first down here. I still think they'll go for it on 4th down, no question. But they're in danger here of giving the ball back to North Shore with some time left on the clock.
You bring up a good point there, but I still think you're in 4-down territory because you're down 2 scores. I think they'll trust their defense.
And here's the penalty marker down on the snap.
It's going to be false start, and you can't have that here. 3rd and 8, down 2 touchdowns. You just cannot have a false start in that situation.
And now it's going to be a 4th down and 13. 3rd down and 13.
I would have thought on 2nd, 3rd, and 8, you could still run the ball because of 2-down territory. But now I'm not so sure what you do here. 3rd and 13, you know North Shore is expecting the pass. And you've got David Berlin back there and Daniel Quigley, number 7, in the secondary. It's not going to be so easy to complete a pass here, but let's see what happens.
Let's see what Kevin O'Hagan dials up here on 3rd down and 13. Giardino flush to his right. There is a penalty marker down on the near side of the field. The pass is over the middle, and it's intercepted at the 39-yard line. We'll have to see what the flag is here, but North Shore celebrating on the interception. We'll take a look at this on the replay again, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know what the flag is. I didn't see false start or offsides. They get a false start. So Feldman with the nice pick. It's going to hold up, and now it's the third turnover for Clarke.
Boy, things have come apart at the seams for the Clarke Rams. And now 3 minutes and change for North Shore, already with a 22-8 lead and a chance to tack on some more before they go to the locker room.
We talked about this before Clarke's drive. This is what they could not do. They could not give the ball back to North Shore and not put a touchdown on the board going into the locker room. Now the pressure's on the defense for Clarke. Can they step up? If you can get to the locker room at halftime, 22-8, considering 3 turnovers in the first half, I think at this point you take that, Pete. I think you take that. But you can't give up any more points.
No, absolutely not. And now North Shore with 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. And it's Lavoti around the right side. He's got some more room. There's a penalty marker down. He's got a first down into Clarke territory at the 45-yard line, but there is a penalty marker down. It came from the defensive backfield, so we'll see what the call is here.
We'll take another look here. We'll see if there was maybe a block in the back or something down the field, illegal lineman downfield. It's on North Shore, so it is coming back.
So we'll see where they what they call. I guess it's an illegal block in the back, and they're going to mark the ball downfield.
Holding they get. Yep.
Oh, they got holding. They got holding. That's a 10-yarder back to the 44.
Yep, it's going to be a spot foul where the holding was made, so it doesn't hurt North Shore as much as you would think. It stays first down, and it's like maybe 1st and 6, but they'll take that.
Yeah, it could have been worse had that occurred before the line of scrimmage. Now out of the shotgun, Leota barking out the signals. And here is the give around the right side to LaRosa. LaRosa across the 45, still on his feet midfield. Another penalty marker comes down. LaRosa still running down the field towards the end zone, but there is a penalty marker down. I think they said he may have stepped out of bounds. We'll have to see. Dan Agavino's not happy.
Let's see if we can get another look at this. If he did step out of bounds, you're going to get a face mask on Clarke. Here's the play. He never went out of bounds.
No, that's got to be a touchdown.
You get the face mask anyways if you're North Shore, but if you're Coach Dan Agavino, you don't want that. You want the points, not the 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down, but I think the officials may have missed that.
Oh, there's no question. It's almost as if everybody except for LaRosa stopped when they saw that there was a flag down for the face mask.
I think you're right. I think the officials, once they had thrown the penalty, I don't know if they looked downfield or looked at the out-of-bounds line, and everybody kind of stopped. But give credit to LaRosa because he kept churning those legs, Nick LaRosa, and unless we missed it earlier on that replay, which is possible, unless we missed it, that looked to us up here like a legit touchdown.
Yeah, there's no way he stepped out of bounds, and now we couldn't hear from up here if there was the whistle. If the whistle blew, here's Lavoti on the carry on the left side, and he's got some room down inside the 25-yard line, and he's got a first down inside the 25, close to the 20.
I want everybody to take a look at Reese Ramos on this replay. Big number 76. Look how he kicks out, and look at all the room over there. He's looking for somebody to block. Yeah. He's got nobody.
The big guy wants to hit somebody. Finally, he takes out somebody there on the far side of the field. He takes out Justin Somyak.
When do you ever see that? The left tackle's coming out
Nobody wanted to challenge him. Nobody wanted to come up to him.
Where's a defender for me to put my paws on? Come on. And he was just out there in open territory, and Lavoti was saying, hey, I'll ride the coattails here of the big fella, and it's an easy first down run.
And it'll be a 1st and 10 for North Shore at the 22. LaRosa in the backfield. He moves up the block as Leota tries the right side and maybe gets a yard out of that play. And it'll bring up second down.
And North Shore in the driver's seat right now. They really can dial up anything they want with the 2-touchdown lead and deep into Clarke territory. Plenty of time on the clock. They've got 3 timeouts. Really, offensive coordinator Coach Bill Madigan can dial anything up he wants right now.
And you think about where North Shore was at the beginning of this game. They're down 8-0. They lose a player to an ejection for targeting, and things seem to be a little skittish for them there at the beginning of the game, but now they are in complete control. and looking to tack on to this lead here before the end of the first half.
Turnovers will do that to any team.
Leota on the keeper. Actually, that's Quigley. Quigley on the direct snap around the right side. And gets to within a couple of yards of the first down. Third and about 3, it looks like.
Don't forget, Quigley was the starting quarterback for this North Shore Viking team to start the season. He's capable of running the football. He's capable of throwing it. It's a nice look that Coach Madigan can go to.
And there is a timeout called with 1:27 to go in this first half, and a 3rd and 4 coming up here for North Shore in complete control. And yeah, listen, especially in the playoffs, you turn the ball over, chances are you're not going to win very many games, and that's the bugaboo here for Clarke. We're up in this game, 8-0, and the turnovers. You keep giving the ball back to a good team like North Shore, and it's gonna do you in.
Of course, we want to remind everybody that this is not the only game we have for the day. This is the first of the 2 semifinal games in Conference 4. Pete, you and I will be right back here at 1:30. We're not going anywhere, and we've got Cold Spring Harbor and Seaford. That's going to be a big one, too.
That's another rematch of a Week 1, an early season game between those two teams. So that's going to be an exciting contest to watch as well.
Of course, we have to thank Orland and Cohen, who are presenting all of these games to our viewers completely free, no paywall for the broadcast. Thank you to our season-long title sponsor, Orland and Cohen, for allowing today's game to be broadcast free. Orland and Cohen, the best providers of orthopedic care around Long Island. Visit them online, orlandcohen.com.
Did they tell you to call me for the games today? Were they a part of that too? No.
They did not.
No, okay. And here's a run up the middle again on 3rd down, and it's going to be shy. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 1. I imagine that they will go for it here.
But speaking of you, Pete, I'm wondering, did you bring any uniforms for any of these players to sign?
I had a feeling that was going to come up in conversation.
Well, you're known for that now.
Well, I was known for it because it was part of the script that day on Boomer and Geo that morning. No, I don't. I mean, the only jersey I might have, I don't know if my son Bradley has one of his in the car.
We're going to have to get a North Shore uniform for you to
yeah.
Maybe one of these players will sign it.
I think Dan Agavino would sign it for me. I think he would. And they do go for it on 4th down, and it looks like they've got it. And it was Leota on the keeper.
Was that the first time you met Boomer Esiason on the radio?
No.
But that's the first time you had an opportunity for him to sign a jersey.
That was the first time I anchored with Boomer and Geo that morning. I've known Boomer for years and Geo for years. But Geo thought it would be a lot of fun that morning if I brought some stuff in to get Boomer, because they know I'm a big Jets fan, so they think, it'd be nice to bring in some stuff. The jerseys were there. They gave me the jerseys, and they're all hanging in the closet. The kids were fighting over it, especially the Joe Burrow Bengals jersey. They were fighting over that one. So we've got a 1st and goal at the 10 here with 29 seconds to go. I missed the Boomer game here.
That Boomer game is no longer.
Yeah, I know the last time I had spoken to him, he was really looking at a lot of ways to try and keep it going. But I don't know if they've officially
I think there's going to be a different game. I don't want to make any announcements yet, but I know that the coaches around Long Island are working on something. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't think they want that to go away either. That's a great game in the summer, continuing to keep football on everybody's minds. So we would hate to see that go away.
1st and goal at the 10. Leota running to his right, now throws the ball complete down the field into the end zone for a touchdown. Again, there is Lavoti catching the ball in the backfield and sprinting into the end zone for the touchdown.
You can't say enough today about Nicholas Lavoti. He has been everywhere. He has recovered turnovers. He has run for touchdowns. And let's take a look here at this passing completion touchdown. Just a nice out route. Wide open. Touchdown.
And out for the extra point is Michael Fleming. And now as you get into the second half here towards the second half with North Shore dominating this game, you kind of wonder if you're Kevin O'Hagan, what do you do to try and get back into this game? And there's the extra point, and that is good with 24 seconds to go, expanding North Shore's lead to 29-8.
Well, the first thing you do is you eliminate the turnovers. I mean, 3 turnovers, I think, all in the second quarter. You can't have that. That's the bottom line. We want to take an opportunity here while we have the timeout to thank, again, our sponsors for the game. We want to thank Lindbrook Swag for sponsoring the best embroidery and custom apparel. Call them at 516-705-5888. Lindbrook Swag works with many sports teams in and around Long Island. Mention hashtag Buckeyes and save 10%. We were talking about this in the first quarter. Lindbrook Swag does all of Varsity Media's shirts and hats and all of our apparel, and they work with a lot of teams around Long Island, varsity teams, youth teams, whether you need uniforms or sweatshirts as it's getting colder outside right now. They do it all. So contact them at 516-705-5888. And, Pete, if you mention hashtag Buckeyes, you're saving 10%. What's
That's
better
a big
than that?
savings.
That's
Yeah.
a savings, you know?
That's more than the tax.
It's more than the tax, and with inflation right now,
Yeah.
everybody could use some savings.
I can understand that. Absolutely. I would imagine here you'll probably just see Clarke take a knee after they get the ball here and go back to the locker room and try and straighten things out and see what happens in the second half. But as of right now, it has been all North Shore since the first possession of the game. Lavoti with the squib kickoff. And it's fielded by Forte. Up across the 40-yard line to the 45. You know, now I'm not so sure if they take the knee, Ben, because 17 seconds left. You throw a couple of passes downfield, and maybe you got a chance to sneak a couple of points in.
We'll see what happens. Just to play devil's advocate, after 3 turnovers, I don't know that Clarke wants to put one up in the air for a chance for a return, just because the ball hasn't bounced their way at all here in the first half outside of that first drive. So we'll see what they do.
I don't know what their field goal kicker, what their range would be here. So I'm guessing if you can get the ball down to like the 35 or the 40-yard line, maybe you take a shot at a Hail Mary into the end zone at the end of the half.
Well, they're going to need some outstanding play here by their senior leader and captain, Nick Giordino.
And the pass is complete to Welsh, and he's got some yardage down to the 41-yard line, but looks like there's a penalty marker down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah,
and another penalty marker just came in at the end. There's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct at the end.
Yep, you definitely caught that. That's the second flag. I think the first flag is going to be a block in the back on that long run, so you would think that this is coming back. But the last time we were in this position, it worked out for Clarke. And if that second flag is on North Shore, who knows what's going to happen here.
Another meeting at midfield with the officials. Let's see if we get a... There's that penalty on Clarke and a personal foul on. Oh, it's a personal foul on both sides.
So you've got 3 fouls here, and we'll see if all of them offset or if they count the holding or the block in the back. And you see Agavino on the bottom of your screen there. The official is giving him the option. He wants Clarke to move backwards. Of course, why wouldn't you want Clarke to move backwards with 11 seconds to go in the half?
And there's the call again by the official. So they're going to move the ball back.
At this point, you would think now that Clarke would just take a knee.
Now you got to just take a knee and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach O'Hagan, you tell the players at halftime, look, we're in this position because we coughed the football up 3 times in a quarter. You can't do that, and you can't do that to the number 2 seed in Conference 4, which is North Shore. So if they want to battle back in this game, they're going to have to hold the football.
So they break the huddle now. 8 seconds to go. It's 1st and 13 from the 42. And looks like they're going to run a play here, Ben. And now they're going to let the clock run down, and that's the end of the quarter. So we have reached the end of the first half of play in this first Conference 4 semifinal game here at Hofstra. And the score at halftime, North Shore 28, Clarke 8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist, making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier program. In sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Touchdown to Allstrand. Inside handoff this time. Look at a spin. Campbell breaks the tackle. Breaks into the secondary. Jackson Campbell. Touchdown, Northport.
With 4 passing touchdowns tonight. Give to the right side. Back it comes for McKee. He loads up and fires wide open. At the 10-yard line was Logan Lyson.
Second and goal from the 15. Look out. Kelly under pressure. Gets out of it. Interception at the 10-yard line. And look at this return to the 20, the 30. There's blockers up the field. From the 10 to the end zone. Touchdown, Ward Melville.
Varsity Media top 10. There we go, right there. Who needs Sports Center when you got Varsity Media top 10?
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder, leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
And we welcome you back to Hofstra. Ben Turchin here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Our score at halftime of the first game, Conference 4 semifinal, North Shore 29, Clarke 8. It's a pleasure to have the Executive Director of Nassau County Athletics with us for a short halftime interview, Pat Pizzarelli. Pat, it's the first time we're back at Hofstra in 2 years. It's great. The fans are back here. How excited are you guys as a staff to be back here for the semifinals?
Well, we're back to normal, you know. And as you know, Ben, I was the football coordinator for 18 years before I became the executive director 5 years ago. So, you know, for 20 years now, this is my November, you know, at the end of October, November, and it's great. You know, football's a great sport. And Hofstra, that's the kids' goal. You know, every football player in Nassau County's goal when they start the season or in the summer workouts the same, we want to get to Hofstra. We want to get to Hofstra, the Big Four championships. And so here we are, back at Hofstra for the Big Four championships. And today is the big day, you know, the 4 games in one day. So it's exciting, really exciting.
Of course, we want to thank yourself, Dom Vulpes, and everybody for allowing Varsity Media to broadcast these games today. What's interesting around the state is you're one of the only sections that actually has a neutral site for the semifinals. Suffolk in Section 11, higher seed for the semis, even up in Rochester, Section 5, the same way. What went into that kind of thinking, and do you find that to be maybe an advantage for the kids to come here, or what was the thought process behind that?
Well, you know, this happened even before I became, of course, even before I was the coordinator. And they just thought it would be a great experience for our student athletes. And financially we can do it. You know, we get the crowds that help us. And it's just it's a great experience, you know. Kids, like I said, football guys go, and if they're at all competitive, they want to get to Hofstra. That's their goal, you know, the road to Hofstra. And, you know, as you know, I was the AD at Lawrence for 25 years. And that was our goal every year. And we showed up quite often.
With some championships to boot.
We had a good time, and just this atmosphere. Even though, unfortunately, Hofstra dropped football, still they do line the field for us to come over here, and it's really a college experience for high school kids, so it's wonderful.
I'm not sure a lot of people really fully understand what goes into getting the games here. It's a big undertaking, and with the not having it a season ago, was it difficult to get everything back and get us back here in 2021?
Yeah, we had to do a little work on it. You had to, we had to make sure the dates were available. And, some schools still aren't giving out the facilities, but Hofstra is, so we were lucky in that, view. And it just kind of, since we weren't here 2 years, remembering everything we needed to do also.
Right.
So, but, Matt's the coordinator now, Matt McLeese, and he does a great job. And, it just it kind of takes care of itself after a while, and you get back into it. So, and like you have right now, the kids are out there cheering, Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, they've done it at their own fields, but now they're here in a college venue doing it. So it's super for the girls, too.
Do you think – I have to ask you a COVID question because it's on everybody's minds. It seems like we're sort of at the tail end of it. But do you think – I think we've been unscathed in the regular season. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we had too many cancellations. But from your view, do you think now we're here at Hofstra, it seems to be a little bit more back to normal? Athletically speaking, have we maybe gotten to the tail end of this?
Well, that I'm not sure. I know. I just read in the paper today that the numbers are ticking up again. But as far as the fall sports season, which now we're coming to the very end, we've scheduled thousands of games in all the sports, boys and girls in all the levels, varsity, JV, and middle school. And we had less than 10 cancellations because of COVID. So those odds are pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
I think the key is going to be we're going inside now. Let's see what happens there. And to this day, though, to right now today, I have not seen any data that COVID was spread the actual playing the game, any sport.
Right.
Okay, it's at the parties after games and stuff like that. But I've seen no data saying that, even in wrestling, that two kids wrestled and one of them infected the other kid. So we're playing, and I'm hoping we go into the winter and have a great winter season also. That's our anticipation, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far so good. Listen, we want to thank you again for allowing us to be a part of this today. We've got one more half here, and then three more. We'll be here all night.
Yeah, but Benny, I want to thank you. Okay, you bailed us out, as you know. You know the deal that we have. With another network, we'll say, and we came to you when they, bailed on us last minute, and you bailed us out, and we really appreciate it. I know you've been there for us, Ben, and we feel very highly of you, and we will continue our relationship in the future, I'm sure.
I would just say Varsity Media really enjoys being a part of Section 8 athletics in any way that we can be a part of it. So
appreciate it, Ben.
Thank you very much, Pat. We're looking forward to the second half here and three more exciting games, and then obviously the rest of the way here until we get to the Long Island Championships.
And we'll be exhausted by the end of the day. Trust me, I know. I've been here before.
All righty. That's Pat Pizzarelli, the Executive Director for Section 8. He does a great job. We thank him. We'll step aside here. About 8.5 minutes left until we get going in the third quarter. From Hofstra, 29-8, our score at halftime, the Vikings over the Rams.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
to Allstrand. Inside handoff this time. Look at a spin. Campbell breaks the tackle. Breaks into the secondary. Jackson Campbell. Touchdown, Northport.
With 4 passing touchdowns tonight. Give to the right side. Back it comes for McKee. He loads up and fires wide open at the 10-yard line was Logan Lyson.
Second and goal from the 15. Look out. Kelly under pressure gets out of it. Interception at the 10-yard line. And look at this return to the 20, the 30. There's blockers up the field. From the 10 to the end zone. Touchdown, Ward Melville.
Varsity Media top 10. There we go, right there. Who needs Sports Center when you got Varsity Media top 10?
It's time to get hyped with Varsity Media. We offer an array of video services sure to amp up your team. From staged preseason hype videos with custom lighting and smoke machines to sideline highlights of a big game. How can your team stand out from the crowd? Contact Varsity Media today and let us tailor something your squad will never forget. These are the best times of your life. Capture them in the most creative ways possible with the sports leader, Varsity Media.
Not feeling the love after your last tennis match? We've got specialists for that. Running for the train, derail your knee? We've got specialists for that. Diving after that grounder leaving you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video. Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We are back at Schuert Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. Peter Schwartz and Ben Turchin for the first semifinal game for Conference 4, and it's North Shore all over Clarke, 29-8. And Ben, we're going to take a look at some of the stats from the first half. And after that opening drive by Clarke, where they took the 8-0 lead, it has been all North Shore since then, including on the ground, 144 yards to 55 in the rushing yard category for North Shore.
But you look at the bottom there, and that's what it's all about. Points off turnovers, that's the POT. North Shore converting, Pete, 3 times on the turnovers for touchdowns. We're not even talking about field goals here. They've gotten the full gamut of those turnovers, and that's the exact difference in this game. 21 points off 3 turnovers.
No question about it. And the turnovers came at they came in bunches, too.
Yes, they did.
They came in such a short amount of time. It's not like one was in the first quarter, one was at the end of it was like in a very, very short amount of time. And I have to think has to have shell-shocked Clarke, because they were in this game, winning this game 8-0, even when it was 8-8 at that point. They're in this football game, and then all of a sudden everything unravels, and we've got a 29-8 lead for North Shore here as we start the third quarter.
And before we do that, once again, we want to thank our sponsors. Again, for those of you that are tuning in maybe for the start of the second half or have been with us for the entire game, there are some people that have made these broadcasts possible today to be free to the entire community of Long Island. So we have to start with Orland and Cohen. They've been our title sponsor the entire football season, and they came up huge again today. Thank you to Ray Nelson and everybody at Orland and Cohen, who are, by the way, the best providers of orthopedic care around Long Island. Visit them online for more information at orlandcohen.com. And Lynbrook Swag, we want to thank them for sponsoring as well. The best embroidery and custom apparel. Call them at 516-705-5888. Lynbrook Swag works with many sports teams around Long Island. If you mention hashtag Buckeyes, you save 10%. And finally, Fat Boy Burrito. Thank you to Tony and the crew at Fat Boy Burrito for sponsoring today. They're located in Belmore, and they make some absolutely unbelievable burritos and bowls. Opening up locations soon in Levittown and East Northport. Visit them online or go see them, fatboysburritoco.com.
And you'll be enjoying some of that later on tonight.
Dylan Butler will. He's going to scoot on over here. I will be actually not here at that time. But, you and I, next game, we're going to get to sample some burritos from a different company. So it's all good.
Very, very much looking forward to that. Right now, Clarke trying to look forward to getting back into this game, but right now they're going to kick off, and North Shore is going to have it for the start of the second half. And on the return, it's Leota crushed down at the 27-yard line, and North Shore is going to put the ball into play 1st and 10 from right around there, the 27 or 28-yard line.
One of the things we talked about in the first half is the officials getting control of this game right off the kickoff here in the third quarter. A little bit chippy there, some hard hitting and some extracurriculars. Nothing came of it, no penalties or anything. Something to keep an eye on, though. We already have an ejection in the first half by North Shore for unsportsmanlike conduct. We saw that at the end of the first half as well, Pete. So the last thing you want to do is see this game get out of hand.
So now 1st and 10 for North Shore as they're going left to right on your TV screen. Here in the third quarter, don't forget, still to come, Cold Spring Harbor and Seaford in the second semifinal game, and that is set to kick off at 1:30. So the winner of this game will meet the winner of that game next week for the conference championship. There is the run up the middle by La Rosa. And he doesn't get much there, maybe a couple up to the 30-yard line.
North Shore kind of in cruise control here to start the third quarter with a 21-point advantage. I think right now the goal is stay healthy, no injuries, clock running.
Don't turn the ball over.
correct. And those are the things that Coach Agavino and offensive coordinator Bill Madigan are going to be working on here as we start the third quarter with the Vikings on offense.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings from their own 30. Leota with the handoff to Quigley, and Quigley has some room down the left side into Clarke territory, brought down inside the 45-yard line, down and around the 43, and a big run there by Quigley, and a first down for North Shore. They're back in business.
See if we can take another look at this, just the blocking and the cutback there. Look at the blocking upfield, and Quigley able to cut back, and then just wide open lane to the outside there. And those are the big chunk plays that Clarke cannot afford to give up to North Shore here if they want to get back in this game.
Ball all the way down to the 43. So it'll be 1st and 10 for North Shore after the big run by Quigley. And this second half starting very much like the first half went for North Shore after that first drive, dominating fashion. Leota on the keeper around the right side, and he is tugged down at around the 42-yard line. Like Sforza, Anthony Sforza, number 9, grabbed him by the jersey and was able to pull him down. And maybe a yard on that run by Leota. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Also looked like Michael Delaney, number 50, the senior defensive lineman, getting in as well. Delaney, one of the captains for Coach O'Hagan's Clarke Rams. Big stop there, brings up 2nd and long.
2nd and 8. They give him 2 yards on that play. And 2nd and 8 from the 41. Feldman, top of your screen, flanked out to the left side. And Lavoti and Berlin to the near side. And the give is to Quigley again. And Quigley gets all the way down inside the 35-yard line, down to the 32 before he's finally brought down hard, but not before another first down run.
Yeah, and we can't talk enough about Reese Ramos, number 76. He's one of the offensive linemen. He's going to come around and just lay out that block, and that gives the hole there for Quigley. You saw it there. He just comes around on a pull, and he has been doing such a great job. Ramos, one of the better offensive linemen, not only in Nassau County, but around Long Island there, the left tackle, number 76.
A junior, 5'11", 260 pounds. And here's the give to La Rosa around the left side, bounces away from the tackle, gets down inside the 25, down to around the 20-yard line, and it's going to be close to another North Shore first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Right now up front, North Shore has all the momentum, and the big boys on the offensive line are they're just taking control over the line of scrimmage right now, and that's the difference in this game, at least in terms of offense. Andrew Fabili, number 77, he's in on the blocking as well here for North Shore. Pete, when you control the line of scrimmage and the clock, everything's going your way.
No question. They do give him a first down, just by inches, I guess. 1st and 10 from the 21. Berlin and Lavoti, top of your screen, and Feldman on the bottom. And it's Leota on the keeper around the left side, and he is brought down at around the 20-yard line. Nick Giardino is able to come up and bring him down before he's able to break away for too much yardage. Looks like maybe you actually lost a yard on that play.
Well, that's what Clarke needs to do. They need some more penetration here, tackles for losses. They need to get North Shore in some long yardage situations. Now, as we say that, they've been pretty good at those 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs. That's when the big plays have come for North Shore. But this is what Clarke needs defensively, no doubt about it. They need to stop North Shore. They need the ball back, and they need some points on the board here.
So it's 2nd and 11 from the 22 after the loss of a yard. Now Leota out of the shotgun. Sends 2 wideouts top of your screen. Lavoti and Feldman. Now Lavoti in motion, gets the handoff, comes around the right side, breaks away, gets inside the 15-yard line, down close to the 10-yard line, and that might be enough for another first down. Actually, they're going to mark him down a little bit shy of it. It'll bring up 2nd and about 1.
That's the jet sweep we saw in the first half that the turf monster got on Lavoti. This time around, Lavoti wins that war, and it's a successful play, a gain of about 7 or so yards, but it brings up a very 3rd and short and manageable. and there's no way that Coach Agavino, isn't going for it on 4th down here. So you got to think North Shore has 2 cracks here to get the first down.
It is 3rd down, and they call it 2 from the 13-yard line. Feldman flanked out to the left. Lavoti and Berlin, bottom of your screen, flanked out to the right. And here's Quigley, straight down the right side into the end zone for another touchdown for North Shore.
Well, the blocking is just too good right now. If you're watching this at home or wherever you are, you're seeing these holes are opening up, parted like the Red Sea. So let's take a look at this replay right here. There you see 62 and 77. Look at the top there of your screen. Just doing an outstanding job. That's Patrick Godfrey along with Andrew Fabili. And they just create that lane, Peter, that allows Quigley to walk right through.
Quigley on the direct snap, scores on the touchdown, and it's 35-8 for North Shore with 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here is Fleming for the extra point. And that kick is good, and it rolls on for North Shore. 7:20 to go in this 3rd quarter. North Shore 36, Clarke 8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Back at Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, North Shore rolling over Clarke 36-8 in the 3rd quarter of this first Conference 4 Nassau County semifinal game. Peter Schwartz, Ben Turchin with you here at Hofstra, and we really didn't expect this to happen, especially after what we saw early in the 1st quarter.
I definitely have a little egg on my face as we started the broadcast. I said I expected this game to be closer than week 1. It's actually widening out further than it was in week 1, and give all the credit to North Shore. Pete, something we didn't talk about, but last season in the spring, North Shore lost the Nassau County Championship to Wantagh. A little bit of a controversial play in a 4th down. They've wanted this for a long time. They're a team on a mission right now, and it's not just to get past this game in the semifinal. They're going to want the Nassau County Championship a week from now, and furthermore, they want the Long Island Championship.
No question about it, and a lot of schools are going to be eager to get back to that Long Island Championship after they did not have it in the spring and last year because of the pandemic. And Clarke now with the return up across the 35-yard line, and they'll start at 1st and 10 at the 40.
And just to continue a thought on the Vikings, this staff, Coach Dan Agavino, Bill Madigan, and some of the other assistants on this team, we'd love to give them a mention. Scott Lineman, PJ Como, Craig DeNicola. They've been at this for a while, and the past couple of years they've had some of their best teams they've had since Coach Agavino has been here with North Shore, and I know it will be great for that community. They are hungry for some sort of championship, and this football team, they can do it, Pete. They have the talent to get it done here this year.
Now here is Clarke trying to fight their way back into this game. It's Giardino on the keeper, and he is up close to a 1st down. He'll be about a yard shy as he's finally brought down at the 49-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 1.
He's been the bright spot here for the Clarke Rams, best player on the team, and he's showcasing why. It takes a couple of guys to bring him down. He's lethal with the ball in his hands. We saw a great touchdown pass at 40 yards on the first drive for Clarke, and they go as far as he can take them. And we'll see if he can provide some sort of spark here on this drive here as we're midway through the 3rd quarter.
Clarke breaks the huddle, 2nd and 1 from their own 49. Less than 6.5 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Giardino back to pass, screen in the flat far side, and it's down inside the 45-yard line. It's check that Somyak down inside the 50-yard line, down close to the 43-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down for Clarke.
On that play, you had David Berlin, number 24, with the shoestring tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, I think you've got a touchdown there for the Rams. So you've seen the Vikings defensively. Look, I know they've put a lot of points on the board and they've gotten some turnovers here, but Pete, defensively, you have to like the way the Vikings have come out here, even after that drive to start the game.
They definitely rebounded after that tough opening drive by Clarke where they scored their only touchdown of the game. Here's Giardino rolling to his right, penalty marker down. The pass to the far sideline is incomplete, but you have to imagine this is going to be a hold on Clarke.
It absolutely is a hold on Clarke, and some of the North Shore defensive players had their hands up in the air during the play, kind of saying, what's going on here? He's all over me. So we're going to get the call, and it'll back up Clarke 10 yards.
Just when Clarke thought they had a little something going here on their first drive of the third quarter, a miscue will move them back.
But again, it's all about the line of scrimmage, and it's about who's on that line of scrimmage. And some of the players here for North Shore, they've just been dominant. That's all you can say. I mean, we've talked a lot about Andrew Fabili. We've been mentioning his name here early in the third quarter, number 77. He forced that hold right there. What more can you say about the line of scrimmage here by North Shore? Patrick Godfrey, 62 as well.
Second down and very, very long for Clarke. And here's a pass to the near side to Welsh. He's got some room, and that closes up quickly at midfield as he is shoved out of bounds by Berlin. And I think also
LaRosa was there.
LaRosa came back and made the play too, but there is another penalty marker down.
Yep, there's a flag on the play. The closing speed of North Shore, sideline to sideline, has been very impressive to watch here. And you can see what's going on with Clarke. They're throwing the screens because they can't run the ball up the middle, so they're trying something sideline, Pete. And the penetration, the ability to make the tackles, as we're going to have a penalty again here, personal fouls each way.
Offsetting, yeah.
But again, both teams are getting a little chippy here, which we talked about at the start of the second half. But going back to my point on North Shore's defense, they're flying around to the football. They are controlling the line of scrimmage, sideline to sideline. Pete, they're everywhere defensively.
They have definitely been swarming, and it has caused a lot of problems for Clarke. And now after the run and the offsetting penalties, it's going to be second down and 17 for Clarke right at the midfield stripe.
Also, the secondary has played outstanding today. Richard Cook, the junior, we mentioned his name once or twice, number 15. He's on the far side. And Will Berlin, they have not allowed, outside of the first 40-yard touchdown, they really have shut it down.
Giardino throws, passes incomplete. Miscommunication there with Sforza on that route. Giardino throwing it before Sforza turned around. That could have almost been intercepted, but it's going to bring up a fourth down here for Clarke at midfield.
Yeah, they just can't get anything going offensively. As you had said, miscommunication.
Third down, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Miscommunication on the route. I think Giordano expected the receiver to turn around or maybe head in a different direction where the football was. Clearly the receiver wasn't ready for the ball, still running a route. But when you're in this situation, you don't really practice these plays, right, during the season. You're not expecting 3rd and 16s and down by the margin that they are right now. So you're kind of in uncharted territory if you're Clarke offensively right now.
Third down and 17 for the Rams. Giardino keeping it himself around the right side, looking for some room. He's got it inside the 35, inside the 30. He's got a first down. Giardino all by himself down inside the 30 on the far sideline, and it's going to be a first down for Clarke.
As you take another look at this play, beautifully done and executed here. You've got blocking up the field, and that frees Giardino for the first down. And if you're a Clarke fan watching, you're thinking, how come we always get into these scenarios to get the first down? Why can't we do it on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 5? Why did it take us to 3rd and 17 to come up with the big plays? But that's kind of how it's been for Clarke today.
They spotted at the 30. 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Clarke trying to get back on the board. They have not scored since their first possession of the game. And North Shore jumped off sides. Let's see if they were drawn. There's flags all over the place.
It's one of those when you throw a bunch of flags. What'd you see? Who jumped? And you got to see which guy, unless they agree, they're going to call it on North Shore.
Yep. So that will move it down to the 25. And it'll be 1st and 5 from the 25. And you're Clarke now. I mean, listen, you have to still think you have a chance to come back, but at the very least, you don't want to have your season end with just 8 points on the board. You want to try and make a good showing of it here and find the end zone again.
Definitely have the ability to do that on the 25-yard line with the 1st and short.
Giardino back to pass, lofts it towards the far side, and it's almost intercepted. The pass was intended downfield, it looked like for Ridner, but it was knocked away by Berlin, who almost came down with the ball.
I think that was Richard Cook, number 15. And we mentioned his name only a second ago. Look at this downfield coverage, step on step on the receiver. Absolutely no room for the receiver to come down with that catch. Give Cook credit there.
It was Cook. My apologies. So it brings up 2nd down and 5.
That's an adjustment defensively that the Vikings have made since the beginning. When we saw that 40-yard touchdown, Clarke had beaten them down the field. But since then, North Shore has shut that down.
Now here's Giardino again around the right side, still trying to break free as he gets down inside the 25-yard line, down to about the 24. He's going to be short of the 1st down, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Patrick Godfrey, number 62 for North Shore, with the big tackle. If Godfrey doesn't come with the pursuit, it might have been a 1st down there for Giardino, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and 3 from the 23. Checking back in for Clarke is Ridner. As they try to convert here on 3rd down. Flanked out to the top of your screen is going to be Welsh. Ridner to the bottom of your screen. And Giardino on the keeper. Straight up the middle and looks to have the 1st down. He just made it inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. They'll move the sticks. And Clarke gets in the red zone.
I'll tell you, if he got the 1st, it wasn't easy. They made him work for it. Anthony Santoro, number 50, one of the linebackers or defensive linemen, and Andrew Nowak, number 58, both converged to make that tackle, and he definitely earned that 1st down, Peter, for sure.
Down to the 19. 1st and 10 for Clarke at the North Shore 19-yard line.
Doesn't really seem like Clarke is in a hurry.
No, it doesn't. Very, very deliberate. Remember, they've turned the ball over 3 times in this game, so I mean they're trying to make sure that they've got the right play called and they're going to execute this. Coming up on 3.5 minutes to go in a very quick-moving 3rd quarter. It's not Giardino at quarterback. He got the snap. That was Welsh who took the snap, threw it into the end zone, incomplete. There is a penalty marker down at the 5-yard line. Nope, that is not a penalty marker down. That is a field hockey line. I thought that was a pet. There it is.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people watching at home thought the same thing.
Yeah, that is.
There's a lot of lines here at Hofstra. One line that isn't permanent is a football line.
Yes. So that was on me. That was call the foul on me for not watching and paying attention. 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line.
How about North Shore? 2 opportunities to come away with an interception there.
Yeah.
Deflected, I think, off Peter Leota's hands, and I didn't make out the other secondary player, but twice North Shore could have come away with the turnover. There would have been their 4th of the game.
Now on 2nd down, Giardino keeps it himself around the left side, stops, will throw the ball, incomplete, was looking for Iannucci on the near side, and that's going to bring up 3rd down for Clarke.
We just mentioned Andrew Nowak, the senior, listed at defensive line, but he seems to be playing some linebacker, able to backpedal into coverage on that pass. The defense has been phenomenal for the Vikings. You have to be incredibly impressed today, Peter, with the job that they have done.
100%.
They have just shut down Clarke. I mean, yes, we had the turnovers in the 2nd quarter, the 3 turnovers, but really they've shut the Rams down offensively. Every time the Rams have had an offensive drive, it's gone nowhere.
There's only been 2 drives here in the 3rd quarter. North Shore went right down the field, scored a touchdown, and now Clarke has been moving the ball downfield, but they have taken a lot of time off the clock. We're down to 3:19 to go in this third quarter. Giardino rolling to his right. He'll keep it himself. Bounces away from a tackle, down inside the 15-yard line to about the 14-yard line. He's going to be shy of the first down. It's going to bring up fourth down, and no question here, Clarke goes for it.
They will go for it. And how about the edge that the Vikings are playing with? David Berlin on the sideline. Make sure to give that elbow hit, that jarring hit as he goes out of bounds. The Vikings are still playing defense right now. It's 36-8, and they're still playing defense. That is a testament to this coaching staff.
It's going to be 4th and 5 from the 14.
Well, I will say I think you have to run the ball here because the passing, the air attack hasn't worked for Clarke. Even the short yardage throws, we mentioned before there was some miscommunication on the last one. I think you put the ball in Giordano's hands and see what he can do with it.
They've been very effective with him running straight up the middle. Let's see if they do that here on fourth down, and we've got a timeout called by Clarke to talk this over. But we've seen that on this drive already, Giardino, a couple of times with that run straight up the middle. I wonder if that's what the call is here, or they were just looking to see how North Shore's defense was going to line up against them.
And you bring that up. It was a 3rd and 17 when he converted for that first down on the run. I just think, again, just to elaborate on the point a little bit more, the secondary for North Shore has been very solid. I can't remember the last time Clarke completed a pass. Your best player on the team is your quarterback. I don't see how you don't allow him to convert the first down here. And look, if you don't get it, at least you can say the ball was in our best player's hands, because I honestly think that's the best way you're going to convert this fourth down.
And this might be, if they don't score here, you might start to see both teams start to empty their bench a little bit and start to bring in the 2s and maybe even the 3s. So we'll see what happens. I think this is the whole key to how the rest of this game is going to go. Still to come, the second Conference 4 semifinal at 1:30 this afternoon right here at Hofstra. We'll be on the call, Cold Spring Harbor and Seaford. And again, that's another rematch of a game that took place very, very early in the season that Seaford won. So we'll have to see how things go in the rematch.
And we might have a couple of Seahawk and Viking fans peeking into this game right now, thinking, who are we going to play? And they're probably looking at the score saying, wow, North Shore really handing it to Clarke.
Giardino, this time he gives the ball off to Sforza.
I don't think he got
around
it.
The right side. Close, but I agree with you, Ben. I think he's going to come up a little bit short here.
Looks like about – they give him the first.
Him the first
Oh,
down.
the official.
No, he went the wrong way.
the official had it the wrong way, confusing us up here, but he was a yard short. Kind of surprised that they didn't keep the ball in the hands of Giardino. They gave it to Anthony Sforza, like you said. A very capable player, just a yard short there. Another captain of the team here for Clarke. It's just, again, things have not been going Clarke's way in this game whatsoever.
And now North Shore will get the ball back, 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. And no question, just looking to continue to bring that clock down and wrap this up in the fourth quarter and move on to next week's championship game against the winner of Cold Spring Harbor and Seaford. Leota gives it to LaRosa. Around the left side, gets up to about the 15-yard line and 16-yard line, and it'll bring up second down. And I expect we'll see a steady dose of this on this drive and for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, you're not going to see too many more pass attempts here by North Shore unless they fall behind in a 3rd and long situation. They want the clock to move. They want to continue to run the football, and ultimately that just wears out a defense, and a lot of these players play both ways for Clarke. That will affect them offensively as well. So North Shore is in the driver's seat here with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Second down and 4. Leota out of the shotgun. Gives to LaRosa again around the left side. He's got some room. Close to a first down at around the 20-yard line. Let's see if they give it to him. It's going to be very close. He might be just about a half a yard shy. And it will bring up third down.
Not anything that North Shore can't handle right now. 3rd and short. Not going to go for it here on 4th. That's for sure. You're not going to give Clarke a short field here, but 3rd and inches, you would expect them to dive forward here and convert this first down. You got Quigley in shotgun.
Is Quigley calling out the signals. He takes it himself straight up the middle across the 20-yard line. He's got a first down at the 22.
And what happens when you're Coach Madigan, the offensive coordinator for North Shore, and you put Quigley there, you're not really sure what the offense is going to do if you're Clarke, and you're going to see a little bit here of some trickeration. You got one running back going one way on the RPO, and Quigley decides to keep it himself. So, again, that's just misdirection, and you fool the defense, and that's the advantage of having Quigley there under center or shotgun in that situation.
Leota trots back out with the play. Quigley still there in the huddle, too, so he'll be part of this. 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 22.
You have to wonder at what point does Coach Dan Agavino decide to start taking his starters out of the game in preparation for next week.
Here is the give up the middle. Quigley up across the 25-yard line to the 27. And it's a gain of about 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
And they're taking every second off the clock imaginable here, trying to shorten this game. And can't believe we have another quarter to play in this one.
Running time?
They would have done it already, so I don't think we're going to get running time in the 4th quarter. But you know that North Shore is going to be running the ball. That's for sure.
2nd down and 6 at the 26. Inside of 10 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the first quarter. And here is Leota up across the 35, across the 40-yard line. And that'll bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter in the first semifinal of Conference 4 here at Hofstra. The score, North Shore 36, Clarke 8 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Ben Turchin back at Hofstra. We start the 4th quarter. North Shore with a 1st and 10 from their own 38. Up across the 40-yard line to the 42 was Leota on the keeper. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see the starter still in here for North Shore. I thought after the timeout between quarters, you might start to work in some of the second-string guys and give them a little bit of experience. But more importantly, Pete, at some point you got to start thinking about resting your starters for the next game for the Nassau County Championship. So maybe they stick around here to finish off this drive, but I can't see them playing too much longer in this contest.
2nd down and 7 from the 41. Now the give up the middle is Quigley across the 40-yard line up to about the 43. It'll be shy of the first down by about 5 yards, so 3rd down and 5 from the 43-yard line.
You like to see that the team trailing is still playing with heart and not giving up. Joe Rodriguez, number 80, with that tackle, the linebacker. He's a senior. This could be his last game in his high school career, but it's good to see that the Rams are still playing hard on defense, and number 80 with a nice tackle right there for Clarke.
3rd and 5 from the 43 for the Vikings, who are up 36-8 and just trying to wind things down towards the championship game next week. Here is a run to the left side. The ball bounces out of bounds, knocked away from Lavoti, who was the ball carrier, as he got across the 45-yard line.
Well, they say this is a game of the way the ball bounces, right? And it didn't bounce the way for Clarke today, and you could tell that right there because Lavoti coughed the football up at the end of that run. Had it stayed in bounds, Clarke would have gotten possession, but it went out of bounds, and that's just the way it's gone today for the Rams.
And it's a first down at midfield. Despite the ball popping loose, they get the first down at midfield, so the clock continues to run. Actually, it stopped on the ball going out of bounds, but 10:21 to go. And North Shore still in possession of the football, up 36-8. Lavoti again into midfield, past midfield, down into Clarke territory.
Again,
Check that was Quigley on the carry.
It was Quigley. And again, Clarke playing very hard here. Jack Forte, number 33, in on the tackle. I think you had 28 as well there, Justin Somyak. So Clarke playing hard here, Pete, and I think that's a testament to Coach O'Hagan and his coaching staff for Clarke that these athletes are not giving up on this game.
Quigley comes out. LaRosa back in for North Shore on 2nd down and 7 from the 47. Now here's LaRosa. There's a penalty marker down. LaRosa is brought down in the backfield. Nice play coming up. John Bauer, the senior, 5'10", 160 linebacker, and he makes the tackle in the backfield for the loss, but let's see what the flag is.
I think it's holding on North Shore, but in any event, again, you don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the Clarke defense is showing up here in the fourth quarter. Bauer with a great effort and a tackle for loss there on North Shore. And you like to see that. You just like to see that this team has not given up, and they're still going to play until the final whistle.
And they marked us off on the Vikings. Back to the 43-yard line.
There's a lot of seniors on this Clarke team, and there's a lot of pride here for the Rams. So you can't expect them to go quietly. A lot of senior leadership. Sforza, number 9, is a captain on this team. Giordino, obviously, number 10, a captain. Delaney, number 50. Liam Farrell, we talked about him, number 58 here for the Rams. So, Pete, this is a very senior-laden team. This could be their final game of their high school career. And obviously, they don't want to walk off the field without giving every ounce of effort today.
North Shore breaking the huddle. 3rd down and 6. Scoreboard says 3rd and 16. The marker says 2nd down. And here's the give to LaRosa up across the 45-yard line before he is brought down.
That was Bauer getting some penetration again, number 20 for Clarke. Kind of caused that play to misfire for the Vikings.
So that is going to bring up 3rd down. Again, it seems to be some confusion because the stick on the field says 3rd down. The scoreboard says 4th.
Should always go with the sticks on the field.
Yep. So it's 3rd down and looks to be about 14.
Well, unless North Shore converts here, we might actually see our first punt of the game. Can't remember if did we have a punt in the first half?
I don't believe we've had a punt yet in this game.
We might be on our way to a first punt of the game coming in the late fourth quarter.
Which would make my son Bradley sad since he's a long snapper, and he's all for about seeing the long snappers get out there. Here's the pass to Lavoti, complete for the first down, so you're not going to see a punt again. The ball comes loose, but he is down at the 25-yard line.
I spoke too soon as North Shore converted, but let's see if this was a fumble or not because the ball did come loose at the end. And we'll see if he was down or not. Again, this Clarke did recover this.
And it's Lavoti making the catch. And
that's a fumble.
Yeah, he was not down.
That's a bad break for Clarke.
And that's the second time in the game that there's been an incorrect call on that.
Those are the breaks, as they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're down 36-8, sometimes you don't get those. But What about the touch pass again? I mean, we can't say enough good things about Peter Leota, the quarterback here for North Shore. He just drops it in the bucket for Lavoti. They have something going on there. Both juniors are going to see them again next year for this North Shore team, and this is just the beginning here for the Vikings.
1st and 10 from the 25.
This is all about North Shore taking every second off the clock they can.
Inside of 7 minutes to go. LaRosa around the left side. It's got some room. 20-yard line inside the 15 and finally forced out of bounds. At the 13-yard line, another first down for North Shore. About the only thing that North Shore did wrong there was get out of bounds to keep the clock going.
I'll be curious to see if North Shore actually attempts to score here. Sportsmanship starts to come into play. We know Nassau County is very big on that. It's already a 36-8 lead with under 7 to go. I'd be curious. I mean, you do have to stop them.
They got some wiggle room here. I'm glad you brought that up because I'd like to say something about it. I'll bring it up after this play because I think that rule is very controversial. Here's Quigley takes the snap and goes up the middle, and he's going to get towards the goal line and a touchdown. For Daniel Quigley, the senior, 6'1", 190, had 2 touchdowns last week, and now he gets a touchdown here as North Shore expands their lead. In the spirit of that rule, I understand the spirit of the rule, and this also comes as being a parent of a football player too. I think there is a lesson to be learned by getting blown out, and I think there's certainly an understanding that you don't want to embarrass anybody, but you do learn something, I think, about being blown out. The problem I have sometimes with the blowout rule is, like, for example, a few weeks ago, Garden City is already beating MacArthur 42-6, and here's the extra point that's blocked. The starting quarterback of Garden City should not be throwing an 85-yard touchdown pass up 42-6 in the fourth quarter. That's just that I think is where the rule really does come into play, where I think, okay, now you want to bring the backup quarterback in, that's fine. The starting quarterback shouldn't be throwing an 85-yard touchdown.
Yeah, listen, I think everybody has a different view on it. We know a couple of years ago it led to a suspension for one coach here in Nassau County, and that made international news only a couple of years ago. So to your point, that was brought up again. The Garden City coach elected to keep himself out of the quarterfinal round against Elmont. I think he did the right thing there. Maybe he realized that that pass shouldn't have been thrown. But I think it's designed there just, you don't want to ever show bad sportsmanship one way or the other, and I think that's what the rule is there for.
Yeah, I think, look, at some point when you're getting blown out, you have to learn how to tackle people, and you have to at some point, if you're running the ball and the other team can't stop you, and it goes in the you can't take a knee in the third quarter.
Right.
You can't take a knee in the third quarter. So
well, and to your point right there, as we saw Quigley score, he could have given himself up at the 1 yard line, but he didn't. He went in for the touchdown. You have to stop, right? That's your point. You have to make the stop.
Right. You can draw the line between just running your offense and also doing what you can to embarrass the other team. I think there is a line you can draw between the two.
Well, I think, listen, now it's 42-8. I mean, I think at this point, I wouldn't think. I mean, forget sportsmanship, just for health of your players for next week. You wouldn't think that North Shore would be there.
Here's a squib kick, and it's picked up by Roche. And he gets across the 40-yard line to the 42. And Clarke will come back out on offense, trailing 42-8. They'll actually spot it down at the 40, so it's will be 1st and 10 for Clarke from their own 40-yard line. Now they're spotting it at the 41. So we had it at the 42, we had it at the 40, and now they compromise and they put it at the 41.
This might be Clarke's last opportunity here of the season with an offensive drive, so let's see what they can come up with here. They would love to put one more touchdown on the board for the 2021 campaign.
And Giardino still at quarterback for Clarke. And this will be his final game in a Clarke uniform. So the senior is still out there. And he gives to Somyak around the left side up to about the 45-yard line and a gain of 4.
You know, you said it's his last game in a Clarke uniform, which is absolutely correct. But Nassau does a great job with on the morning of Thanksgiving. They have what's called the Senior Bowl. It's held at Mitchell Field. And the players that don't make it to the Long Island Championship that are the seniors, they pick players to play in that game. He would be a very strong candidate to play in that game.
I would think so. Absolutely.
It's Conference 1 and 4 that take on 2 and 3. And they didn't have it last year, obviously, because of COVID. But I believe, and Dan Agavino is the coach for Nassau that runs the event. I believe they're going to have it again. We may be broadcasting that. Stay tuned. But we'd love to see Giardino get one more game as a senior.
And here is Giardino on the keeper, and this time nowhere to go. Brought down back inside the 40-yard line. They'll say he got to the 40, so it's only a loss of a yard. But nothing there doing for Giardino.
How about Mark Russo, number 33, the senior linebacker, another captain here for North Shore. And you could see the players love it. We didn't mention his name much in the first half. He's getting some playing time here. And, you know that the players love an athlete like that when they're slapping him 5 and hugging him after a big play like that.
I like the idea of those, those senior all-star games, whether it's the Nassau County game or we talked about the Boomer game that used to take place. It just gives some of these players like a Giordano one final time to be in a high school setting, and there's a completed pass to Ridner across the 45-yard line. But for a lot of these kids who are seniors that have not committed to a college, some might be on the bubble, they haven't gotten an offer. Anytime you get a chance to get yourself on film and give yourself a little bit more exposure, it's always a good thing.
Well, you're totally right about that. And the other cool thing about the senior game that Nassau puts on, it's Thanksgiving morning. How many times growing up or now you with your son, do you say before you're ready for the big meal, let's go out and throw the football? It's Thanksgiving. It's tradition. And I think Nassau gets that so right. I've always been excited about that game because it's before the feast, 10 o'clock in the morning, get the game out of the way, go home, have your celebration. But I don't know, it's cool. It's tradition.
4th down, Giardino is going to pitch it out to Somyak, and Somyak is going to get the first down. A great effort by Somyak. Was hit before he got to the first down marker, but he was able to recover and was able to keep the chains moving for Clarke.
Well, Giordano does everything there. I mean, after the pitch, you're going to see number 10 turns into a blocker. Here comes the pitch. He's got to get one defender freed up, and it's that little bit of effort there by Giordano to free up the running back for the first down. And also, you love the sportsmanship put on by North Shore picking up Giordano after he fell to the ground. That was LaRosa, number 36. Nick LaRosa and Giordano high-fiving each other. That's what Nassau County football is all about, folks. The sportsmanship that you see on the field here between two competitive teams at the end of the game here.
1st and 10 from the 48. Giardino back to pass this time. Throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. There were a couple of receivers in the area, Ridner and Iannucci, and I think it went off of Iannucci's hand and incomplete.
That may have been deflected prior to getting to Iannucci because it seemed like he wasn't ready for it. It was almost like it caught him by surprise because it was in the breadbasket there for him to catch the ball.
So 2nd down and 10, 3:49 to go in the 4th quarter. Perhaps one last hurrah here for Clarke to get back on the board with the clock down to 3:49 to go in this first semifinal game. Giardino on the keeper again. Doesn't pitch back, was looking to do it. Has the first down himself inside the 30, and he is gone inside the 5. Touchdown! Nick Giardino takes it the distance, and Clarke is on the board again. It's 42-14.
A 48-yard run by Giardino. We just knew that we weren't going to hear the last of the senior quarterback. The fake pitch, Pete, and he gets it outside, and look at the speed. It's on display there for everyone to see, blowing by the North Shore defense for the big touchdown there for the senior captain.
And he took a look. He was very close to he must have had the option there of pitching it back. And he took a look. He decided to take it himself and went the distance for the touchdown. And now looks like they will go for 2 Giardino back out on the field, barking out the signals as they go for two to get that feel of getting in the end zone again. Giardino gives up the middle, and it's Forte for the two-point conversion. And it's 42-16. So Clarke is able to finish off the drive. Nick Giardino, the long touchdown run. Forte, the two-point conversion. And it is now 42-16. And we are going to take a break. We're going to come back with the conclusion right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Peter Schwartz, Ben Turchin back at Hofstra as we wind down this first semifinal. Here's another look at the Conference 4 playoff schedule with the Nassau County Championship for Conference 4 set for next Saturday right back here at Hofstra.
Right, so North Shore is going to advance. They're going to be right here at 12:30. Who they'll play, we'll have to wait for the next game coming up here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. But I really think if you're North Shore, you can't look ahead to next week. But that LIC, that's something that they didn't get last year. Like you had mentioned, they lost to Wantagh, but there was no LIC in the spring. That's the ultimate goal, folks, to get to Stony Brook on the 27th.
That's a goal for a lot of these schools that are still playing. They love those. That Long Island Championship meant a lot to a lot of kids, and especially those seniors in the spring that won their county championships, and they didn't get that opportunity to come either here to Hofstra or to Stony Brook to have a chance at being the Long Island champion. And on the return, across the 30 to the 33-yard line, and that's where North Shore will put it into play. It was Lavoti on the return.
There's a look at the Vikings' last drive before Clarke scored. They took up 8 minutes and 19 seconds and went 90 yards on that Quigley touchdown.
That was the first drive of the third quarter.
I mean, it took up a lot of time there, and just that's exactly what Coach Agavino was looking for from that Viking offense.
And now North Shore will just try to run out the rest of this clock here, as looks like for the most part Clarke still has their starters on the field, and so does North Shore. And here's a run on the near side up across the 35-yard line. It is La Rosa, and he gets about 6 or 7 yards on the play.
One thing about Nick LaRosa, his older brother Phil LaRosa, who was unbelievable as a running back here for North Shore, graduated last year. What about this family, man? But they have just unbelievable athletes for Coach Agavino not to lose a step and bring in the next LaRosa here. You got 2 horses in the stable. He's very happy that the LaRosa family is in the North Shore School District.
He wants to know if there's any more coming down the pike.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Now he's going to get Nick for another year, so he's very happy about that. But to your point, who else is coming up here for LaRosa family?
It's a second down, 2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Leota with the give to Camardella. Camardella had a 23-yard touchdown run. That's Ryan Camardella, a junior. And he had a touchdown run in last week's win over Malvern, so he's getting a chance to carry the ball here as the clock winds down.
Yeah, it's good to see Coach Dan Agavino getting some other players involved in the mix here. I see some other guys on the field right now. Maxime Makhoff, number 88. He's a junior. He's on the field as well. So it's about that time here late in the fourth quarter to work some other guys into the game and just keep fresh legs. That's what it's about here. You know, you're gonna, no matter who wins their next game that we'll have here at 1:30 between Cold Spring Harbor, who beat North Shore by a point earlier in the year, or Seaford, who also got by North Shore in the season. You need fresh legs for the championship game. It's not going to be easy.
Now it's victory formation for North Shore as they surround Leota, who will take the snap under center this time. And he takes the knee on first down and probably have to do that one more time. And that'll be it. A tremendous performance by the North Shore Vikings after they fell behind 8-0. Clarke went right down the field and scored on the first drive of the game, and you thought for a second this is going to be a football game. And then, and not only that, North Shore loses a player to ejection. Things weren't going their way, and all of a sudden, boom, 3 turnovers by Clarke, and North Shore is able to take off to a win here in the semifinals and advance to the Conference 4 championship next week here at Hofstra. There'll be one more knee needed as there's 53 seconds to go. And they have decided to call the game right there with 42 seconds left. They're going to say that's enough. And the final score, North Shore High School 42, Clarke 16, and Ben, North Shore advances to the Conference 4 championship game next week.
Well, give a lot of credit to Coach Agavino and his staff, and there were some players on his team today that were just unbelievable. I think you got to start with number 2, Nick Lavoti. Look at the stats right there. 7 rushes, 95 yards receiving, and a touchdown. He was all over the field today. Also, Peter Leota, the quarterback, Daniel Quigley, number 7, and, of course, the running by number 36, Nick LaRosa. A team effort today by the North Shore Vikings at a convincing 42-16 win.
Yeah, it was convincing after that first drive, no question about it. And congratulations to Clarke High School on a wonderful season, getting to the Nassau County semifinals here in Conference 4. Kevin O'Hagan, you mentioned at the top of the show, first year as the head coach of the Rams, and a lot to be excited about if you're a Clarke fan and you're a returning player, that this program's in very, very good hands with Kevin O'Hagan.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up. First year, young guy, doing things his way here with the Clarke team, and I think we can expect some big things from them. They're graduating a lot of seniors. There's no doubt about that. You're not going to see Giordino next year. You're not going to see Sforza next year, Delaney, a lot of these captains, Farrell. But there are some juniors that have played in this game that got the experience, and I think they're going to come right back next year, and they're always a force in Conference 4 Nassau County every single year.
And that's going to wrap it up here from Schuert Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. The final score, once again, North Shore 42, Clarke 16. For Ben Turchin, I'm Peter Schwartz. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, 1:30, Cold Spring Harbor and Seaford in the second semifinal coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network.